What's up, YouTube? Chris here again. Today I've got a little bit different video for you guys. Mostly, I do airsoft guns and a little bit of my car. I did a video or so of that. And I did one of real firearm comparison versus airsoft comparison. But I've got something today that I don't think a lot of people have, and maybe not a lot of people have heard about them. They don't currently make this gun anymore. However, they do make a Chinese reproduction of it. Mainly it's used for novelties, I guess you would say. But this is a Xythos, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, 2mm Pinfire Revolver. And this thing is absolutely tiny. I mean, as you can see, the case that it comes in is, I'd say, maybe 3/4 the size of a dip can, maybe. Let's take it out and take a look at it. Shoot, if I can ever get it out. There we go. This is, they make several versions of this. One of them's all silver, one of them's all gold, and then this is the two-tone gold and silver version. Really neat little setup, because this thing actually fires a 2mm Pinfire projectile. Now the rounds that I have for it currently are just blanks. However, they do make actual projectiles for it, and they're pretty readily available and fairly cheap. Now the guns, on the other hand, these guns, if you can find these Xythos legit ones, not the reproductions, are pretty expensive. They go anywhere generally right now from $200 to maybe even $1,000, depending on what kind of complete set you've got. Now I've got a complete set. Mine has the keychain attachment that'll go on it, as well as the cufflink attachment. This thing was made, the way the cufflink shows, it was made to wear the gun on the inside of your cuff, and the cufflink has got like a brown leather looking setup on the outside. And allegedly, I cannot confirm this nor deny this, this is a declassified Austrian spy gun. Now, what they would be shooting with such a small projectile, I cannot, I can't say, and I kind of think that allegation is kind of bogus. But like I said, I can't confirm it nor deny it. That's just word of mouth on the internet. But this thing actually does fire. Cylinder moves just like a real revolver. And this little red box right here that's so tiny actually houses the ammunition, in which I've got, like I said, I've got blank ammunition for it. But like I said, they do offer live rounds for it. You have to forgive me, these rounds are so tiny. Try to grab one without dumping them everywhere. These things are actually smaller than a grain of rice, and I mean, I find that amazing. But they're actually really loud. I mean, it's louder than a firecracker. I don't know if you guys can see this round. I mean, it's tiny. And the reason they call it a Pinfire is because on the very top of the round there's a tiny little pin that the hammer hits, and that's actually the primer, so to speak. Which, until I ran across this as, a weird firearms collector, airsoft and both real steel, I hadn't even heard of Pinfire rounds, but apparently they go back maybe even as far as 17, 1800s. I haven't done that much research on them, but I just figured I'd make a short video showing this thing. Now, to load this, you actually take this little pin underneath the barrel, you unscrew it and pull it out, and the barrel kind of breaks down. This is not an easy task, but not with mine anyway, because I haven't messed with it that much. And now you can see that you can take the cylinder out and load the appropriate amount of rounds, which in this one it holds 6 rounds. And the little black piece that already looks like it's in a cylinder actually keeps the cylinder in track with the remaining piece of the cylinder in the gun, which is it's pretty neat. Like I said, guys, I've never run across anything like this, and happened to see one on another YouTuber's video. I cannot for the life of me remember the guy's name, and for that I apologize. Usually I like to give credit when credit's needed, and I definitely would have given this guy a shout out, but I cannot for the life of me remember his name. But yeah, so once I saw this video, I had to have one, so I went out on my search. And believe it or not, these things are not easy to come by. I happened to acquire this one off of gunbroker.com. A gentleman was selling one of the pieces in his private collection, and this happened to be it. And this is in fantastic condition. I mean, it looks brand new. It looks like it's never been used or anything. And he gave me the original box, all the original pieces that come with it, including the blank rounds, and he even gave me the original instruction manual, which in these sets you don't find these very often, or at least in my experience you don't. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I just want to do a quick video of this. This is really neat to me. If you guys want to acquire something like this, I'll put in the description of it. It'll describe exactly what it is, and it's a Xythos 2mm Pinfire revolver. But I'll spell Xythos because like I said, I'm not even 100% sure that I'm pronouncing it correctly. There is a website dedicated to the Pinfire community. If you want to pick one of these up, they sell a lot of the used versions of these guns. Like I said, these Xythos guns in particular, they do not make them anymore. They do make a Chinese copy that's they don't recommend you firing live ammo through it, because maybe something to do with the cylinders not lined up appropriate or something like that, but it will fire the blank rounds. And it does look just like that, with the exception of the the grip is a little bit different. But yeah, if you just want some kind of a novelty, I guess something to talk about type piece, it would be something pretty neat to get into. And the knockoff ones are like 99 bucks, so they're not just going to break the bank. If you just want something kind of neat to add to your collection, kind of like what I did. But I wanted to go for the legit piece, and I happened to be lucky enough to run across one. Now in the box they call this thing an automatic, which it's obviously not an automatic. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different piece. I'm stoked that I actually run across one. I had to pay somewhere in the ball game of $250 for this one. But you don't see too many of the two-tone silver and gold revolvers. Most of the time you see either a gold one or a silver one. So I figured that would be a pretty neat one to add to my collection. Another thing they offer is a set that's a little bit more complete than this one. It don't come with the little round, I call it a dip can type box. It actually comes with a big square clear box, and it has a little attachment that to me looks like a silencer that screws onto the inner threads of the barrel. And you drop what looks like a 40 caliber casing into the front of that silencer, and it makes it a flare launcher, which I thought that was really cool. But in order to get one of those more complete kits, you're going to spend a lot of money. I'm talking about twice what I paid for that one. That's the cheapest I've seen. These kits used to be pretty readily available. I mean, there's several guys on YouTube even talking about buying those flare kits for like 99 bucks. But since those videos have been made, excuse me, it's almost like everybody's hanging on to them. You don't see them anymore, or not very much. Now, on eBay, every now and again, you might run across one. I saw one of the little Xythos revolvers on eBay a few weeks ago for like, I think the starting bid was like 60 bucks or something like that, but it was nowhere near in the condition or the completeness as that one was in. Didn't have the blanks, didn't have the case, manual, it was just the gun, that was it. And it was pretty rough. And if I'm not mistaken, it's still in as rough of condition as it was in. Still sold for like $150. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, and to make a long story short, if you can find one of these cool guns and it's something that interests you, and you can find one, you know, $300 or less, and it's the original one, and it's in as complete condition as this, you really ought to jump on it, because those kits are just going to skyrocket. I mean, they're just going to keep going up. But anyways, that's just a little short video I wanted to put out for you guys, just to show you just some of the different things that I dabble in. And I mean, I'm not just strictly airsoft, I'm not just strictly real steel firearms or cars or whatever. I just do a little bit of everything. And you know, in my channel, I want to explore some of the diversifications in my hobby, I guess you could say. But I guess stay tuned to my channel. I thank all my 15 subscribers. You know, if you guys, you know, tell all your friends everything. You know, give me some more subscribers. You know, if I get 1,000 subscribers, or hell, if I get 500 subscribers, I might do a pretty badass giveaway. So, you know, just rate and comment for sure, and please subscribe if you don't already have a subscription to my page, if you're interested in seeing stuff like that. I think I might give away a pretty expensive airsoft gun if we get to 500 or 1,000 subscribers. You know, just, you know, shoot me some ideas in my comment box, and we'll go from there. Thank you guys. God bless.